Can I see a big show of hands of all the folks that actually hit traffic on the way to the event tonight? During their daily commutes during the week. How many people love traffic? Well, you're not alone, because the people along the LA 405 here share your pain. And the folks here in the Shanghai G4, a 50-lane highway with thousands of vehicles stuck in traffic, known as the Chinese carpocalypse. They feel your pain, our pain. Traffic has taken over our lives. And just last year, US drivers spent over $300 billion wasted in fuel and in productivity stuck in traffic. That's some 42 hours, some $1,400 per vehicle on the road, and a whopping 1.9 billion gallons of fuel consumed in traffic. So not only is traffic taking over our lives, but it's killing our environment. In that we've got roughly 38 billion pounds of carbon emissions being emitted into the national airspace system, and into our lungs for that matter, because of traffic. It's a huge problem. And if you take our problem and you put it in the context of the global urban environments and global population growth, what we're looking at is a doubling of population growth from 3.3 to 5 billion, a doubling of number of vehicles on the road, which is a huge problem that ultimately ends up in something we call global gridlock, where Bill Ford once said, traffic is no longer going to be a matter of inconvenience, but a matter of human welfare, where people, food, and healthcare will have a difficult time moving around if we don't do something different. And I can think of no better place than Detroit, Michigan, than to innovate that next generation solution, because as we all know, it was Henry Ford that put the world on wheels. And what many people don't know is that he put the world on wings with the first commercial airliner, the Ford Tri-Motor. So now there's all kinds of new technology like on-demand ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft that are making a huge difference in reducing traffic and congestion on the road by increasing the utilization of vehicles on the road, reducing the number of cars on the road, and that's a step in the right direction. And the automotives are doing a great job of electrifying and going into automation and connectivity, so that there are fewer traffic jams, fewer emissions, fewer fatalities, which is also a step in the right direction. But I don't want to talk to you about that today. What I want to talk to you about is something a little different: skipping traffic altogether. And it's not flying cars. And it's not a super cool idea called Hyperloop, which I think they should add Detroit to Toronto to Montreal to the thing, so somebody should start thinking about that. And it isn't boring tunnels underground so we can jump on an electric sled and skip traffic. I think it's a brilliant idea for colonizing Mars and the moon, but very expensive. What I want to talk to you about is electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. Us nerds in the business call eVTOLs. And an eVTOL is basically a giant drone that leverages distributed electric propulsion so that we can essentially take off like a helicopter, fly like a plane at roughly 1,000 feet, move 1,000 pounds of whatever, 60 miles at 250 miles an hour, all in a single electric charge. Imagine how much more you could get done if you could just skip traffic altogether. I mean, it'd be amazing. And the best part is we can leverage existing electric vehicle technology that's in production, that's used in cars today, because it's physically and mathematically possible. We've done the math. Then you bring in high-performance materials, like that used in the Ford GT, and you look at the sensors and software used in automated vehicles. Except it's so much easier to automate an aircraft because we don't have logs and kids on skateboards and squirrels and cats and dogs jumping in the way. So after 7 years of research and development, we came up with an aircraft system we are now testing to perform a variety of jobs from cargo, medevac, CASEVAC, passenger, mobility so that essentially you can go from Los Angeles airport to the Staples Center in a third of the time. And by 2020, you'll be able to MOBi from San Francisco to San Jose in 15 minutes for the price of an UberX ride. In fact, it's going to be cheaper for you to do this than to drive your car. Now, I've been privileged in that I could own an aircraft, and I've been skipping traffic for about a decade. So while I'm doing 200 miles an hour, having options of 15,000 airports in the United States, the rest of the mass traveling public gets about 150 options in the air, right? So while I'm zooming around, y'all are stuck in traffic. Get into that big airport, race into the TSA line to sit in more traffic, get strip searched, just so you have just enough time to run to the gate like your heart's going to fall out of your body, only to get on an aircraft that's been built 20, 30 years ago, okay, where premium seats in coach now cost a little extra more, and you've got to buy water and snacks just to sit in traffic again once you get to your destination. Misery. So after 7 years of research and development, we are now testing a vehicle that will move people, cargo, between cities, airports, and suburbs, cleaner, faster, and safer than ever before. And it's using stuff that already exists, that's been designed and invented here, right here in the Motor City. And we start by connecting cities, airports, and suburbs. And then what we do is we start connecting the 15,000 airports, and we create skyports. So now what we see is a complete economic shift in performance, not only locally, but nationally, giving people a higher quality of life. And by 2030, we're going to see millions of eVTOLs moving things. And you're like, how are we going to manage that traffic? Well, we do it, guess what? Using existing automotive vehicle connected and autonomous technology called DSRC to sequence and separate traffic so people can get places safely and efficiently, so you can drive less, do more, and skip traffic to do whatever it is that you want to do. Work more, play more, family more, whatever. And I can think of no better place on earth than doing it right here in the Motor City. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.